time for a little bedroom upgrade, but first we have to reset it. It's pretty bad, pretty bad. Another exhibit. How does this happen? Don't even want to talk about my closet. How does my room get this bad? In my defense, I have been sick with a horrible stomach bug, and right before that, my daughter was sick, but I can't blame everything on that. What led me to decide I needed to make over my homeroom now, you might ask? Well, a lot of reasons, but I saw this quote on Threads. I'm a firm believer that by 9 p.m., every woman's bedroom should look like a temple. I'm talking an obscene amount of beeswax candles lit, fresh roses on the altar, the most depressing poem ever to exist being written in your journal, chantress Seba playing in the background, speaking your prayers out loud to God, and white cotton curtains subtly blowing in the breeze. And you know what? I want my room to be my temple. Here are the vibes that I'm going for with my bedroom. And here is it in its current state when it's clean. And I'm aiming to do this makeover without buying any big pieces of furniture, mainly through the decorations and the aesthetic. A lot of the stuff in my room is truly just stuff that I need to get rid of. Somebody got me these as a birthday decoration, and I've kept them because I thought maybe I could somehow repurpose them as decor, but they're just taking up space. I have not found a place for them in my house. I'm gonna post them on Buy Nothing in case anybody wants them. I feel like we need to talk about this. So this had a system. This was supposed to be stuff that had been photographed but hadn't yet been listed. Only a small portion, like less than 5 items, fall into that category. Most of this stuff in here just needs a home. This rolling rack was originally supposed to be stuff that I need to photograph, but I found that that system didn't work because stuff would just sit here forever. So now my system for stuff that needs to be photographed is that it lives in my kitchen or living room until I photograph it, because that makes me photograph stuff a lot faster. That's just what works. Nothing about that was easy, but I did manage to get it done. We're gonna rapid fire through the rest of the cleaning and resetting process unless something that feels important comes up, just because I have a feeling that that's not really what you're here for. I have a feeling that you all are here to see the makeover. I have a ton of these tapestry blankets because I was gonna make clothes out of them back in 2020 when that was really popular. Did I ever make those clothes? No. And I guess by tons of them I need 5, but it's 5 more than I need considering how long I've held on to these. Okay, maybe it wasn't 2020, but it's been like 3 years minimum that I've had these. I know that I want to sew with these 2. I don't know how I feel about the other 3. I might list them on Depop or like Facebook Marketplace. I don't know. For now, I'm gonna consolidate them. Little cedar block, why not be safe instead of sorry when it comes to moths? I didn't finish my cleaning yesterday, but I'm close. In case you can't notice, I'm wearing a wig. I'm really excited. I've bought in a number of wigs over the years because I always wanted to wear them. And then I get too nervous about it not looking right, or people just thinking that I'm like doing too much or going over the top. But life is really short. All of the rules are made up. So I put a wig on and I feel really hot. 10 out of 10 recommend. I did manage to get some storage bins. It's dark outside. I have finally finished cleaning my room. I'm gonna go to World Market, but I have something in mind that I'm getting for my bedroom. And then tomorrow morning we will start the transformation process. Day. The wig is gone. I don't know if anybody has ever studied the psychology of hair, but somebody should, because I feel like I felt so much more bubbly with the long, lighter colored hair, whereas I feel a little bit more stoic with my dark hair. I'm going to show you what I grabbed at World Market last night, as well as some of the decor that I've already been collecting. Nag Champa, simply because I haven't had Nag Champa since high school and it felt sentimental to grab some. This set of napkins was on clearance. They're 100% cotton. I'm torn between actually using them as little washable napkins or potentially hanging them. I'm not sure if they'll be hung in my room or like the living room though. This was on clearance. The purple one fits the vibe a little bit more, but the purple one was full price and this one was not, so I grabbed her. I'm not quite sure where I'm going to hang it, but I think this will be a really nice addition. This is the whole reason that I went. It's this tea light holder. This is also my reward to myself for hitting 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. At the time of filming this, I have 1,003 of you subscribed. Thank you all so much. I have wanted this since December. When I was somewhere around 950-ish subscribers, I told myself that once I hit 1,000, I could go and get this little lotus tea light holder. Little interlude to thank you all for being here and sharing this journey with me. If you're here for my cozy apartment updates video, then you've already seen this rug. In fact, I believe in that video I promised to show it to you all in natural light and then I forgot, so I will include a quick clip of that here. And also a general before of what my room looks like. Here are some other things I've been collecting for a room update. Some of them I've had for a long time, some of them not so long. This is extremely heavy, but this mirror actually belonged to my grandparents. I'm scared to hang it because of how heavy it is, but I like the idea of propping it on the dresser. Originally, when I got it, my plan was to paint it black. I'm glad I didn't because I really like the look of solid wood. The woods that are used in my bedroom don't all match. I'm kind of okay with that. I guess I could stain the mirror, but I don't know. I have this little shelf that I grabbed off of Facebook Marketplace. This is what I mean by the woods not matching. This is a lot darker. Actually intended for this to go in my kitchen and house mugs. It's a lot narrower than I thought it would be. I also need more jewelry storage, so I kind of want to try to put little nails in the bottom here to hang necklaces. I have a bulletin board. I don't know if I'll end up using it, but if I do, I'll probably paint it. My mom gifted me this little lamp. I just need to set it up. She got it at a boutique in Southern Oregon called Rare Earth. I bought this on Etsy. It's really cool. It's vintage. It's meant to go over a door, like an entryway. So my intention was to put it up here in this doorway, but my ass did not read the measurements, so it's a lot smaller than I thought it would be. So likely I'm just gonna use it as wall art. I love the idea of fans as wall art. This one is hand painted and somebody gifted it to me, so my original thought was to hang this one. However, I don't really think that it matches the color scheme that I'm doing in my room. These fans were the favors at my sister's wedding, and I think that this would go really pretty with the theme. I thrifted this a little while ago once I knew I was going in this direction with my room, and is also from World Market, but I found it at the thrift, which is even better. I was gifted this orchid for my birthday. I'm still hoping that I don't kill it, but I'm so excited because orchids were present in most of my Pinterest inspo photos. I also recently made some art pieces that are the same color scheme that I'm going for. This one I love. This one I absolutely loathe. I'm forcing myself to keep the one that I don't like because seeing it all the time, I think will push me to make better art to replace it. I also have a few pre-existing purple things in here just because purple was my favorite color as a preteen and a teenager. As I got older, I started to shift to pink and then green, and now as a full loop, I am back to purple. Although I do still really love green. I think green and purple actually look really nice together. The best part may be that I have a new to me bookshelf. Ta-da! Now I just kind of threw everything on there last night to get my room clean, but I'm gonna clear it out and then style it. Before this bookshelf, I had those white squares. The coolest part about this bookshelf is that my dad actually made this by hand. I'm not sure exactly when he made it. My guess is the 1970s. Here is an example of something I've had forever. You can see the corners are messed up, but I think I've had this since I was a teenager. It houses all of my candles and incense. I've had this one for a long time too, but it's filled with fabric dyes and then tie-dye materials. I haven't done tie-dye in at least 10 years, so I think I'm gonna get rid of the tie-dye stuff. I got this violet Rit dye with the intent of being able to dye things to match my room. We'll visit the mending pile later in this video. The fact that it was handcrafted makes it feel all that more special. This was just gonna be fiction and fantasy books, but I don't know, the other books just didn't make sense anywhere else. This is like my divine feminine books and then journals. These two I'm ready to get rid of, so they'll probably end up at a little free library. These are gonna be moved to my nightstand with my Yoga Sutras. Also for the nightstand, this beautiful book is going onto my coffee table so that way people can enjoy it. This might end up being where the essential oils go. For right now, I'm very happy with it. There's a few areas where there could be more stuff or it could look better. That's my camera gear in that basket. At this exact moment in time, I feel very satisfied with the bookshelf. Time to tackle the dresser. I need to clean this mirror, but at least I can figure out where I want it. I want to downsize the amount of trays that I have, so I think moving the essential oil trays to the dresser will actually be perfect for some extra jewelry storage. I don't have a strong desire to keep fake plants in here anymore. There are additional plants in my living room that could be transitioned to my room. The issue right now is I'm dealing with gnats with my living room houseplants, and I don't want to bring that issue in here. The orchid is kind of quarantined. That'll just take time. This was in my bathroom. I feel like it might make sense in here. The center. Logically, it being in the center makes the most sense. I might be crazy for this, but I kind of like the idea of it being off to the side. Progress so far. Really just arranging and rearranging stuff right now. I feel like I need more height right here. I don't know, now we're missing the height on this side. I need to get a command hooky thing, but I think I'm gonna hang this, woo, I don't want to fall off my bed, right around here. I could hang it like right up there, and then it adds some visual height to this side too. Here's what's happening so far. I don't know, this one is like very maximalist, trying to figure this out and how to balance it. Anytime I do any sort of home makeover video, in my head I think I can get it done in a couple of days, and the reality is always that it takes a long time. This is my third time I've done either a apartment or room makeover, and just know that when you're watching those vlogs, that 20 minutes actually took several weeks. I ordered something from Etsy. I'm really excited about it. It's handmade from a business in Puerto Rico, and it's this light switch cover. I feel like light switch covers are often overlooked, and it's such a tiny, easy, simple way to upgrade your home. When I was a kid, my sister and I used to decorate our light switch covers ourselves, like make little collages over them. I'm excited to install this and switch up the vibe. If you're renting like I am, just keep your old light switch cover and put it back before you move. Obviously, don't stick your finger in there. Righty tighty, lefty loosey, if you need to remember which way to turn your screws. I'm so excited about the way everything's coming together. I really want to install a curtain here. I'm also toying with the idea of hanging a curtain above my closet door, just because then I could leave my closet open and it's not as much of an eyesore. I'm not sure if it would make sense to just install a tension rod inside the door frame or if that's gonna fall and be annoying. I don't think I'll add any curtains to my actual window. I'm fine with just the blinds. I know it's not as popular, but I really don't mind it. These have to go. I feel like I've outgrown having celebrities hanging on my wall. I just need to figure out a better storage for those necklaces. They're all on thumbtacks, which is not cute and not grown. But as you can see, my jewelry holders are kind of maxed out. I also need to make my nightstand cute, but I think once I get that curtain hung, I'll be able to kind of store these undesirables on the other side of said curtain. Another day, another hairstyle. At this point, maybe this video should be titled Change Your Hair, Change Your Life. But instead, it's probably gonna be something along the lines of bedroom makeover or bedroom reset, because that's really what this is. But on that note, this is the hairstyle that I plan to stick to permanently. My best friend actually visited and cut my bangs for me and trimmed my damaged ends. For so long, I was just doing my natural curly hair, and while that's great, I actually think my hair is gonna be less damaged this way, just because it's so much easier to detangle when it is straight or mostly straight. And on that note, I have this collection of stuff to be mended. I was thinking maybe I can dye these curtains. These curtains belonged to somebody in my grandma's lineage. I'm not sure how old they are. They're a really nice linen. I do have some spots that need to be sewed together, but I would want to dye them first to make sure the dye is gonna come out right before I spend the time mending them. They're also not the exact vibe I was hoping for, but I've been to 2 thrift stores so far. For whatever reason, I'm just not finding curtains. I'm also looking on Facebook Marketplace for beaded curtains. I'm just not finding what I need. I am gonna go to one last thrift store today, but I might just end up dyeing these magenta. I also have this scarf that is stained. It might be cool to dye this like a violet magenta and kind of drape it over the mirror on the dresser. These came out so good. Here's the scarf. This is so beautiful. I feel like I'm doing one of those color analysis, which by the way, I don't know my season. So if you have ideas, let me know. And then the curtains are insane. They look so good. I'm literally so happy. The last time I dyed stuff with Rit dye, everything came out a little bit splotchy and uneven. I'll actually go ahead and put a card up on the screen to that vlog if you care to see. But this time I learned from my mistakes and the dye came out nice and even. I did think that it would be a deeper, darker, bluer purple. When I think of violet, I think of a eggplant, but maybe that's inaccurate. So they are a little bit pinker than I thought, but I couldn't be happier. Even the little pom-poms dyed perfectly. I wasn't sure if these were also linen. I just had no idea if they would dye. I should be stitching up the little areas like this where it's coming apart, but I'm feeling really impatient to get them hung up to at least see how it will look. So I do want to test that out first. I didn't know I had to stick something to the wall to put up a tension rod. I might try to put it up without the stickies. I thought that the tension is what's supposed to keep it up. I should also read the instructions that this comes with because there's 4 areas that look like the end instead of 2. I actually think I bought 2 tension rods on accident. Almost panicked because I thought it wasn't long enough, but it turns out I didn't buy 2. You can pop this little sucker off and use it. Forgot to do this part of my color analysis. Here's the raspberry magenta color, brown, darker magenta. One side is inside out. I'm struggling with this little tension rod. I'm tired. But we're gonna figure this out. These curtains look like they were hemmed by hand, and I think that's what's causing the unevenness. I'm gonna take out the hem. This is reading as really red on camera, but it is much more of a berry tone in real life. My dresser is looking a little cluttered again, so I'm gonna have to space it out nicely. Wow, I don't think I've ever looked so pale in my life. Even with the hems taken down, these are still uneven. At this point, I think the curtains are just two different lengths. I do have the basket up against the shorter one, so it's not as obvious. The top looks uneven to me, but I did measure and both sides are 7.5 inches down from the wall. I'm not very happy with this tension rod actually. It's fallen off multiple times. I didn't put the sticky things on because the whole reason I got a tension rod is because I thought they were supposed to stay up without adding anything to the walls. I don't know, we'll see. We may have to switch the rod, but I do like having curtains here. I do really love my stained glass mauve, but I think I want to move it out to the kitchen. Unfortunately, this isn't coming off without destroying the paint. I'm gonna try and heat it up with a hairdryer. And alas, the hairdryer won't reach, so I guess it's RIP. The paint, I really don't have any other brilliant ideas on how to remove that one. Oh my god. This is pretty bad in my opinion for something that's supposed to be a more renter-friendly option, and that's why it scares a lot of people, but I prefer to just put holes in my wall with nails or tacks, because you can go to Home Depot and get a putty and fill in all those holes pretty easily when it's move out time, and I just feel like they're not as visible as paint ripped off the wall is. My friend suggested that above my window might be a nice place to hang this, so that's what we're gonna do next. With thumbtacks, mind you, no more sticky things. That I want to do to my room, but I'm very happy with how far we've come. I would like to DIY a little light cover. I'd like to rearrange my nightstand differently. There's a few other things I'd like to hang. I'd like to get a lace curtain for my closet door and just some DIY projects, but I also really want to post weekly on YouTube this year and actually give growing on YouTube a shot. And with the amount of time that this has taken me to film and create, I'm already behind on that, so you may just have to follow me in future vlogs, see me add more little updates to my room. I would love to hear in the comments if you all have any ideas of things that you think would be cool to add. But yeah, thanks so much for tuning in. If you made it this far, be sure to give me a thumbs up, like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Ciao.